Hello, this is Sofia Wren for our February rereading event, and today we're going to be celebrating the end of the Sacred Writing Challenge. And I'm very excited to host this gathering. We're going to have some people joining us. I think a couple people are coming on. And let me just take a second to introduce myself before we begin. So my name is Sofia Wren. I'm known as the Book Priestess, and I help writers and creators to make faster progress on their creative projects, bring them to completion, have those new inspired ideas that help them to make a bigger impact and spread their message in the world, and ultimately to be really understood by people because people can hear what they have to say. And the Sacred Writing Challenge has been a beautiful experience this time around. It's been our third round, and we've just finished the 21-day experience of writing every day, and there are suggested prompts as well as a contest, which I'll be announcing the winner of in a few days. And today we're going to be rereading what came through us. And maybe you're joining us and you haven't participated, but if you're here, you're welcome, and everything you're doing is enough to be here today and to celebrate yourself and all of your ideas and your dreams and your goals, and how can we bring you closer to those things. So I really believe that when we have a writing practice of any kind, whether it's making lists or journaling or having a daily writing practice, there's so many gems in the writing that come forward. It's really us tuning in and channeling something bigger and having it come into our writing. And I feel like ideas are conscious beings that we can interact with, and that might sound a little bit nutty to you, but I know for many business owners it's a really big relief to be able to put some of the responsibility on their business itself and to be in partnership. And same thing with me as a writer, to feel like my book has an idea of the way it wants to unfold and I'm the listener, is so freeing to me, rather than having to come up with it all on my own. Because as soon as we put it on us, rather than something coming through us, it's a lot more pressure, a lot more responsibility, and we start having those creative blocks like overthinking, overanalyzing, questioning ourselves, feeling bad about things from the past, all that. And those are all things that I help people to work through, to really feel connected to something bigger and be a part of the change in whatever way is their role in the unique unfolding of the present into the future. We all have a purpose here, and I think that our writing really illuminates that for us. So wherever you are, if you have some journals around you to collect, maybe you want to grab a cup of tea, and we're going to have some exercises. First thing, I just want to check in if anyone left a comment saying hi. And wow, we have some beautiful comments already. So hello there. Hey, thank you so much for leaving comments. And wow, we have some people talking about their snow and looking at the hillside of snowdrops, totally back after the snow. I'm watching the sunshine glisten off the top of our snow. So this is really fun to see some of our participants here, and I want to respect everyone's privacy. So let me know, do you guys feel comfortable with me saying your first names when I read your comments, or would you prefer to just read the comments? It's something that I've been kind of questioning myself. So if you have any input on that, I'd love to hear it from the live audience. And thank you if you're watching the replay later. I've had a lot of things that I've wanted to share. So I'm just going to look at my notes real quick to share some things with you that have been coming up lately, kind of like what's been going on in the world. Right now, it's like right before the new moon. In a couple days, it'll be the new moon. We've just come out of Mercury retrograde, but we're still in the post shadow for another week. So if things haven't quite been fitting or working out the way you want, it might still be alive in your life. I know it is in mine. Been kind of having to rework things over and over again, rather than having like a smooth landed solution. I know the solution is present and it's coming, but it hasn't quite landed for me in a lot of ways. So that's been happening. Also, the Earth in the Northern Hemisphere has been waking up, and it's been, I think so many people I've been talking to are kind of feeling like there's so much going on. There's like a frenzy. It's very easy to get overwhelmed. There's a lot of people in communication, a lot of projects, a lot of things to do. And that's where the earth is right now. It's really preparing to like explode into spring. And so we're feeling that. I talked to someone who's very tuned in, and she was agreeing with me. That was really important. Also, every month I do a forecast tarot reading for members of my membership program. And I do a tarot reading, and then I do an Akashic alignment for them. And the card that I pulled for for the last full moon was Nine of Wands, which reflects that very frenzy kind of activity. And then now it's for the new moon, I pulled King of Wands, which means that we're getting into a mastery of all of these things, juggling all of these things going on, and getting a sense of our power as well as where we fit in the greater scheme of the world. And looking forward to the next full moon, I pulled the world upside down, which is important to note because it can be some challenging energy about like really getting clear on what is in the way of me bringing everything together. And we might also experience some self-doubt. So like, I'm not sure where I fit in. Do I matter? Those kind of questions will be really normal in the next couple of weeks. So I just want to put that out there for you so you don't get taken by surprise, and know that I'm always here to support you. If you need any help, I'm happy to tell you more about the resource I've created with that membership program or something else that I offer. And later on, I'll be giving you information on how you can contact me and talk to me for free to get my recommendation for you, and just to get to know each other even more. As this challenge is ending, it's a little bittersweet for me. And so I want to just start by being so grateful for everyone here. And all right, cool. So all right, so I'm hearing that it's okay to say a name. Let me know if not so much. But yay. So, oh wow, we have so much conversation going. It's so great. Can't even read all of it. Okay, great. So, okay, great. So Christina was saying she's thinking there's a lot to do. Thinking that there's a lot to do is our state of mind. Whatever is happening with the earth may also be our perspective. I just don't see Gaia as feeling frenzied. That's totally cool, Christina. I was just reflecting, there's so many things going on. It won't be true for everybody, but if it confirms something for you and it's helpful to know that there are some energies like that, it might not be Gaia, maybe it's more astrological, but there has been a lot of people I've talked to have had that. So yeah, it's totally fine. And overwhelm is always easier when you feel like you have a sense of control. So I find that if I know that there are outside influences and energies kind of bombarding me with something, that makes me feel more in control, because I feel like I'm not so out of control. It's sort of more outside of myself, and I can center in more. All right, cool. And someone was saying, do I matter? Has been my question to myself all week. So I think you're tapping into something bigger that is coming. And I do feel like we're on a pivotal point where February can be a month of miracles. And we can get into this totally different energy for the year, according to all these astrologers, and my own sense of knowing something big is coming. So definitely, it's good to question if we matter, because sometimes it helps us to get back on our life path and what is really important to us. I know I went through a little dark night of the soul about a year and a half ago. And that's what made me realize I needed to do more with writing and teaching writing. So the Sacred Writing Challenge wouldn't have been born if I hadn't really asked myself that question and felt some of those emotions. So it can be good. We don't know what is good and what is bad. So yeah, not trying to say any of this is bad necessarily. It just might be very uncomfortable. So yeah, my heart is to you, and it's really sweet to see people supporting. Oh, love you guys. And Christina said the end is bittersweet for me too. I really enjoyed having a daily prompt that was not part of my work. And yeah, so I have some ideas of for the future of creating different prompts and things like that. I've got a lot cooking at the moment, so it will be a little bit in the future, but I'd love to do more with prompts and having new things. And so a couple people have left me some comments to let me know how they liked the challenge. And I'd love to hear if anybody has anything that they wanted to, anything extra they wanted to share. Looking back, reflecting on the past, how do you feel? It's been 21 days, but hasn't it felt like a long 21 days to you? To think about where were we that long ago, and like what were we thinking about, what were we feeling? And I would love to see if that helps us to gauge how this month has gone for us and how the experience has been. And I'm always looking for input, but we all are having our own individual experience too. So if you have a way to kind of look back at some writing, whether it's a to-do list or a planner or a calendar or your journal. I actually haven't misplaced my journal, so I can't read that one, but there's other ways to get at it, right? So I'd love to take like 2 minutes and to see if we can kind of look back and see if it spurs any thoughts about where we have been evolving ourselves with the process of writing. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I love time writes. I just think that in time rereads, I just think that it makes it a lot more manageable. So if you are willing to play with me, let's just take 2 minutes and just go back to that. And I'll come back to the comments in a minute. I love you guys are talking, so feel free to continue if you want. 3. Okay, so it's been a couple minutes, and does anybody want to share anything about that? Some things you can think about are, what was on my mind or my list that I did get done and I can cross off and leave behind, and what is still sort of up, and to see that from a place of curiosity of, oh, curious, I wonder if that just wasn't the right timing for me to do that yet, or I wonder if there's something going on that is inside of me or in my life that is making it hard to move that around, and just be kind of curious. And cool. So I'm gonna take a look at comments. I think some things are kind of more personal, and there's so much, so I'm not going to read every single one, although all of you are totally valuable and I love you and I want you here, so just know that. And wow, people are really like kind of coaching each other, and that's really sweet. So thanks, Christina, for all your nice things writing to people. Yeah, and one thing I wanted to share is that oh, and Renee says she's been thinking about putting prompts up on her page and creating some interaction, but more importantly, to maintain the introspection that writing has created for me. And that's a really great point, because at any, you can create your own prompts. I do find that making lists of prompts is easier than coming up with one every day, because some days we just don't have it. So that's why it's so great to go through the Sacred Writing Challenge, and there's just sort of a list, and you wake up and there's one there ready for you, and you don't have to create the wheel all the time. You can always go back to those prompts, but if you're looking to create your own, then you go ahead and just try doing a list all at once for you to look at later. And Christina says she's up to miracles in February. She has a lot on her plate. She's talking about it, and including skiing and making PowerPoints and getting her Healthy Cat Journal ebook up. Cool. Yeah. I'm thinking February miracles. We're still sort of in, we're ending this moon cycle. So we're still kind of wrapping up February, and it is still sort of in Mercury retrograde. And if you've ever seen a chart of how Mercury moves, it's like it moonwalks. It goes forward, and then it moonwalks, and then now it is direct, so it is advancing, but it hasn't gotten to where it was before it started retrograde. And that's why it's called that post shadow. So it was advancing into Aquarius, which is very much about visionary thinking and a whole new world of possibilities. It was getting there in December, but then it went retrograde and it went back into Capricorn. Okay. And it's still there, and it won't get back into Aquarius until the 13th, when we'll really be advancing forward with our communications and our mental thinking and our traveling forward. So if something has been on your list, is what I wanted to say. If something has been on your list that you saw, or in your space that you saw, and you'd like that to be moving faster, maybe, by no fault of our own, maybe this is just the divine timing of things, that it's still there because of this sort of force that's moving through all of our lives with astrology and things like that, which I think is just really a reflection of something inside of us. And something in us matches that, and it matches us. So I don't know, it's kind of chicken or egg. But anyway, so if that's something really important to you, then you can jot a note or circle it that this February month, maybe this is going to be the month, once everything is kind of shaken back to normal, then you can kind of get some more movement on that. For instance, for me, I put go to the gym on here, and I haven't gone to the gym in 3 weeks, but I have been walking and shoveling. Oh my goodness. Exercising quite a lot with that. But there's still something nice about getting in the habit of going to the gym, and it's very satisfying for me. I also get a new lipstick on here, which is just something for me. I've just been really wanting kind of a red-orange color to match all my stuff. The one I have is kind of more pink. And I haven't done it yet. So that is really important to me. And that is something I really want to do, as soon as possible. So I'm calling myself out because I want to do that. And I made a promise a couple rereading events ago that I would get new headshots. And I haven't done that yet. So I've been researching photographers, because this is the month that's going to happen. So delays are totally okay. Is there anything anyone is really looking to create and to work on this month that maybe hasn't happened yet, or it's a new thing. And I love you guys talking about all the things you're creating. And yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, great. So people are kind of talking about the challenge, and that's really cool. And let me see here. What I'm getting is there's a theme about talking about private space and public space, which is kind of why I asked at the beginning, like, do you want me to say, does anyone want me to say their name or not? Because private space is really important. And I really do think that there's something about giving yourself permission to explore in private that a lot of people never had. I mean, I know that talking to people with siblings, they've said that they never really journaled or wrote their private thoughts down because there was no privacy. Somebody would be looking maybe through their things. And I think, and I worked somewhere where I would be writing on the subway, and this guy, my coworker, he would always look over my shoulder. Like, it didn't matter if I was reading or if I was writing, and it was really annoying and kind of rude, and I told him so. But it's really easy to have that sense even when no one is around, and it's something to be conscious of. But I think the whole point of really letting yourself sink into the process of writing is to become unconscious of what you're writing, and then just to let it go, and to be unconscious of anything but what you're feeling and what you're thinking, so you can write it down and immediately move to the next thing. So I love burning things. So, if that is helpful, to know that, like, if you write something down, you can just burn it right away. I think that's a nice way to really ensure that sense of safety, that it's okay. And for me, when I write down, I kind of consider it throwaway stuff, just to give myself permission to write no matter what I'm feeling, because that's our ego saying, like, oh, is this good enough writing? And it can really get in the way of just getting to the honest to goodness truth, or just to write something that will make us feel good. So I'll put that out there as a tool that can be used, and lots of conversation about what we're working on. I love this. And Renee said she's been writing the challenge just for herself and felt safe in the group, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes when she opens it up to the world. And it is really a different thing. And Tanya was saying that she wrote about why change is hard, and she realized and that finding rituals that support her is really important. And that's why we have this space, and that's why I have the Sacred Writing Challenge, is because I also find rituals to support me being so creative, having a ritual. And so I just sort of reading and having some back and forth here with everything. But I think we will go into another writing exercise. It's always interesting to see what people bring to the conversation. You guys are so amazingly awesome. So awesome. Okay, so what I would love to do is let's close our eyes for a second, just to really feel in our body right now. I think it's really easy with so much going on to get a little bit in our heads, okay? And creativity is not always part of you can get so carried away writing, for instance, you can just forget that you're hungry. It's very easy to just forget about our body, but we have a lot of information in there, and knowledge and wisdom. So I'm just gonna become aware. I've got toes, I've got fingers, I've got ankles, I've got legs, I've got hips. I'm really gonna let myself sink into my seat, bringing my shoulders back a little bit. Becoming aware of my hands and my palms, my elbows, taking some deep breaths, and becoming aware of the top of my head. And 3 weeks away from today, we'll be wrapping up February, on the cusp of March. Okay, and that's usually a shift in weather and things like that. So just go ahead and just imagine that you can stride forward 3 weeks forward, just as we just were reflecting 3 weeks behind us. And pretend like you can reflect on February, having already lived it. Okay, so let's imagine we've already lived February, and we're going to think about all the amazing miracles that have happened. Okay, so just go ahead and take a minute and think about all the amazing miracles that you can imagine have happened in February, in your life, in your writing, in your career, and your relationships, and anything you're creating. And we're going to take 5 whole minutes and we're just going to write down what kind of amazing miracles have we experienced in February, pretending and putting it in the past tense. And go ahead and write about how that felt and what it looked like and how amazing that change is to see that. So I will hold space for you guys to do that. So 5 minutes on the clock. Let's feel into some miracles together. One more minute to finish those miracles. Alrighty, you guys still with me? I saw a note that someone couldn't see me. Oops. Okay. And so that's been the end of 5 minutes. How are you guys feeling? I hope you guys can still see me. I'm a little concerned because I got that comment. So I'm going to see on Facebook if anyone sent me a note about that. Okay. So far, so good. Yeah, sometimes my screen, there's a pop-up that repeatedly oh good, Christina can still see me. There's a pop-up that comes up on my computer that I can't figure out how to turn off, and I think it lags the video a little bit when it comes up. So that's probably what it is, if you can't see me. All right, cool. I love looking back in the future too. I have been taught that it's really great for helping us to manifest what we want to happen, and I found it to be really, really helpful. For instance, if I have an event, I once had a class I was teaching, and so I thought about talking about the class afterwards and how everything fell into place and everyone showed up and it was really easy and fun, and those things came to be. So it is really fun to think about that and talk about things from the future, looking back, even though it's kind of pretending. It's really fun. Oh, okay. So if I'm hearing that it does work if it gets locked up to refresh it. Okay, great. I'd love for you to write down a couple feeling words to kind of just to encapsulate what, looking back on February from the vantage point of the last week and looking back and feeling into all these amazing things are happening. What are some feeling words to describe how that month does feel? You can go for 3 words if you want, just a couple. Okay. And once you have some words, just whatever comes to you instinctively, think about what other things make you feel that way. Okay, so from the present moment, what other things make you feel that way or could help you feel that way? For instance, I wrote light, open, space, easy, beautiful. So I've been really called lately to declutter, and a bunch of other people have said that they're feeling that urge too. And that really makes me feel light and open and like there's space. If that makes sense. We've got excited, fulfilled, energetically filled. That sounds nice. We've got grounded, centered, and in balance. So now that you have these words, let's take 2 or 3 minutes to kind of brainstorm what's some ways we can feel that way, you know, maybe in the next week or two? What are some actions we can take, or some things we can think, or ways that we can get into that space and make it, bring it forward into our time in the present? So hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, doke. So those are a few things. Okay, great. So we got some ways that we can start to feel those feelings. We have a new edition of Clear, Focused, and in Flow. Some more feelings to feel for February. And I love this because I'm very practical, and I like to have both that spiritual sense and also something I can do to help bring it in. So what I am proposing is that if you do these sorts of things that make you feel that way, that is going to help bring all those miracles in. Even though it might not seem like, okay, hey, I'm looking for this change, going to do dry cleaning doesn't necessarily seem like that will help me logically, but it will help you to feel like you're in miracle space, and that helps you to attract miracles and get the inspiration to match. And that's how magic works and law of attraction. So that's cool. Oh, okay, cool. So to feel grounded, centered, and in balance, what Renee got was focus, meditate more, look where I'm going versus out the rear view mirror. So that's pretty cool, right? You intuitively know exactly what to do to get miracles this month. So, woohoo! Yeah! I'm gonna do dance. It's gonna be kind of silly. This is my celebration dance. I wanted to have like some little maracas to kind of be like, hey, 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 Secret Ready Challenge celebration. But I didn't. I couldn't find my maracas. My boyfriend gave me one, and somewhere. That's why I need to declutter. So yes, and that thing I said about lipstick could totally help me feel beautiful. So what do you know? It all ties together. I think we make more sense than we think we do. Okay, cool. So I would love to, in this wonderful, gooey, yummy space, I feel like this is a good time to kind of tackle any challenges head on. So, and remember, we might be kind of ending the Sacred Writing Challenge, but I'm here for you if you need to have that support, safety net, somebody to kind of bounce ideas off of and help you out, share resources, stuff like that. So I'm going to give you a link in tomorrow's email to all the Sacred Writing people. I'm going to post it in the Sacred Writing Facebook group. And it's a link for you to go to my calendar and pick a time to talk to me if you want to talk to me. I think 1 or 2 people had asked and I hadn't had it ready yet. So I have it ready now. And that'll be a time when we can just chat, get to know each other and see what you're thinking and up to. And if I can help anyway, I will share whatever I think could help you. Whether it's somebody I know, like a referral, or some resources that I know of resources I've created, videos, articles, PDFs, whatever. And then I have a couple different offerings and services that are at different levels of commitment and for different needs and things. So if that sounds like something that could help, then I'll throw that out there for you. But it's really my pleasure to be connected and stay connected and hear how you're doing after this challenge. So we are all in this together. So yes. But let's think about what are 3 challenges that we foresee. You could think about the month, you could think about the year, you could think about the week, or even the weekend. And I'd love to kind of dig under that a little bit. So what I'd love to do is we use some feeling words about how we want to feel. So let's start with some feeling words about where we are right now with that challenge and how does it make us feel? What are any kind of repetitive thoughts we have about it? And we're just going to kind of like vent and just barf this out, just get it out of our system right now. Just take 2 minutes and just release it, and then we can shift it. So let's start with that. So 2 minutes, something that's challenging, 1 to 3 things. How do they feel? What are we thinking about it? Okay, we're wrapping up. Okay, so I'm going to stop. So that was just sort of to get that out of our system in a place of curiosity and openness to see what's there and to share. I realized that the real reason why I haven't done something that was a ritual for me to go out, pay my bills, eat some chocolate, drink some tea at this little cafe. I used to do that once a week and it really helped me feel on top of everything, but I haven't been doing it. And I think it's because I've just been a lot busier. I've had a lot more clients. I've had Sacred Writing Challenge and all this stuff. So the thought that I've been thinking is not enough time or I don't have time. But it makes me feel kind of like I'm failing to keep up with all these things, and I'm not as clear as I was about, it's taken care of. And I wonder how much energy I waste just thinking about, oh, I need to do that. So really it's time wasted to not do it. And I hadn't really put two and two together. So I like to bring it back to that feeling word. What were those feelings that we want to feel instead this month? So for me, it's light, open, space, easy, and beautiful. And I'm going to take another minute or two to intuitively brainstorm about how can I change the way I feel in this challenge. And we have that list of brainstorm that we already did about getting into that space. So you might want to refer back to that. And we're just going to take another 2 minutes or so, brainstorm ways to feel our words or adjectives for the month in this particular challenge. And you can always start by asking yourself the questions and writing the questions. How can I feel light? How can I feel this? If you're stumped. Okay, wrapping up. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes or so. And so for me, I asked myself, how could I feel light about doing my little money date thing again? And the first thing that I got, kind of look back at my list of brainstorms, it was taking pictures. And I think it's good to just go with your intuition and try to make sense with it as you write. So I just sort of explored and reminded me that yesterday, just threw my pen. Yesterday I went to the cafe, I took a picture of my tea, and I just realized I don't ever do that when I go on my money day. I keep it separate. I think it comes from taboos about money and feelings and stresses and stuff. I never share, and it makes me feel accomplished to say like, hey, I'm writing, here's a picture of my tea. I'm at the cafe. And so maybe I will let myself share a little bit more. And I want to feel beautiful. So what if I wore my new, lipstick out, and then it's more like kind of like a date instead of a thing I have to do. So it's kind of just very subtle shift, but thinking about trying these new things does make me feel lighter and like it's going to be more fun. So that is an example. You can do that again in your own time. Now we're gonna start to close out our session today, sacred writing. And I do want to remind you that I'm really happy to help brainstorm solutions to any of your challenges. Please excuse any outside noise. I've got a partner who lives here. So again, I'll be giving you my calendar. I am in grad school and I do work and I write a book. So I have a couple times this week, a couple times next week on there. And if there isn't something that you could work with, then send me an email at sophia@sofiawren.com, or for whatever reason you can't find the link, just ask me here and let me know some schedule times that work, and we can get to know each other and I can give you my intuitive insight into what I'd recommend, and just, get to know you, hold space, and have fun, and be cool to connect more personally. And so let's close our eyes again. If you'll play with me and you're open, I'm going to kind of shake out my body. It's a good way to relieve stress naturally. And I want to just think about all the things that have happened so far in the year. And I want to find some things that I'm really grateful for. So I'm really grateful that I'm here, that I'm alive. No matter what is going on in my life, I'm breathing. Thank goodness I'm alive. I want to be thankful that I learned to read and write, and I could do that. I'm really thankful that this challenge happened and that I could help facilitate it, and it came through me. I'm really grateful that this idea of sacred writing came to me one day, and then I chose to trust it and trust myself. And I'm so grateful that there are more projects coming through me, and that I can spark things with other people and see them be inspired from things that I share. And I'm really just a messenger, so I feel very humble in that. And I'm grateful that there's so many other books and magazines and fun things for me to read and enjoy that people have created. And there's only more as more people create wonderful things. So I'd love for you to just get in that place of gratitude and for your own self. And I challenge you to find something that you've done that you're grateful for, something about you that you're grateful for, because without you, this challenge didn't exist. You had to do all that work yourself. And whether you've been writing or doing other things, you've been doing a lot, I know. So please find 3 things that you're grateful for about yourself, and let's go ahead and jot them down on our piece of paper before we close out. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that for a couple minutes. Okay. So some people I know have to go. And so if you have to, then I say, have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us, for joining the challenge. I hope to talk to you personally, get to know you a bit more. But if you are flying away, then have so much fun with whatever you're doing this month. We will have another challenge around forgiveness in March. So stay tuned for that if you want to be more creative and more free and light. Moving into self-forgiveness creates so much extra energy for creating new things as you let go of the past. So more about that will be coming. I always do an event for the new moon. That's been my ritual lately. So there'll be another one of those. So keep an eye out. And I have some cool things I'm planning for the next month that I hope to share with you. And April 16th will be the next Sacred Writing Challenge. And now I'm opening it up. If anyone would like to share, I'm happy to celebrate you. And you can share what you're grateful for. You can share rating if you want. You can share whatever you please. Okay, so I'll be hanging out as long as you want to hang out. So thank you so much for joining me. If you have to go, I love you very much. And now I'm going to look at the comments, see what people are doing. So, oh, I have to read this one. Christina says, it's wonderful. It was a wonderful hour with everyone. Thank you for all the shares. I appreciate knowing more wonderful people who are making the world a better place. I appreciate clarity in my life. That's beautiful. Tanya is so thankful for our time together. Christina is grateful for her tenacity with the Sacred Writing Challenge, for singing more days than not, and for starting again to nurture her body. That's very beautiful. And Tanya is grateful for her intuition, her compassion, and her clarity. So big. And Renee is so thankful for being in this group. There's just been a really amazing energy this round. I have to say, it's probably been my favorite so far. We just had a lot of participation and that coming back together to the group. I feel like it really supported everybody, and that is from you. That is from you sharing your light, and that is not from me. It's not the same if it's just me. It's really not. It is you that made this so good this round. So I am so grateful for that. And all good things come to an end. It's just an opportunity for us to create something else. So I look really forward to seeing what everybody creates. And and that awareness and clarity that you have been commenting about. I feel that too. I feel this beautiful awareness. And I think in the end, it's so funny because I really didn't used to be a spiritual person, but in the end, I really feel like it goes back to the source of all things and the unity of all things, whether you call it God or goddess or the universe or angels or whatever, speaks to your heart, your higher self, the wisdom that runs through our pens and our papers. And it is all connected. It's all beautiful. And to know that we have this tool at the end of our fingers every single day it's just a gift. I mean, it's a gift that could make me cry if I really thought about how amazing it is and how many years I spent lonely and not knowing about this, because I thought the writing was about rules when really it's about connection. It's really about opening up and accepting what we are receiving and just letting it go and just letting our control go and letting ourselves put it all out there and hear the answers to our problems and to be okay with the problems and to not resist what is. There's a quote that says, all stress comes from resisting what is. And when I feel like when we're writing, we're not resisting, and if there is any resistance, we're getting it out on the page, we're getting it out. So that way something else can buoy us forward. And it's just so beautiful. Oh, I feel so much in my heart right now for everyone. And you guys are so wonderful. So it's the end of the hour. I'm feeling like we are wrapping up, and there's so much here. And feel free to stick around and share and continue to share in Sacred Writing Challenge Facebook group. I'm not closing it. We'll be keeping it open, and the next round will be there too. that's what I've been doing. It feels fine to do that. So if you have like articles you want to share, or art, or just thoughts, and you want to keep in contact, I encourage you also to become friends. And if you want to have, get together on the phone or something to get to know each other, like, you are able to do that. Just so you know, I've had really great experiences in programs, reaching out and making friends with people in classes and groups. And it's only the beginning. So don't think you are now all by yourself. If you don't want to be, you can keep connected. So it's there. All right. Goodbye, everybody. All right. So don't forget that in a couple weeks, we'll have a self-forgiveness challenge, and the next new moon will be in about 4 weeks, and we'll have another event like this. So we can get together then. All right. Have fun with your rereading and enjoying of February. Bye, everybody. Mwah. Thank you so much for being here. You make it awesome. I love you.